Major, ultimately in a span of 48 hours, Trump's been hit by Obama and the Pope, of course. Is this a positive thing for the Trump campaign, and can he build on his own momentum? And how safe of a play is this on Trump's part?
Well, that's a complicated question. Let me unpack it this way. So when Donald Trump is in the news and driving the news cycle, it always works to his advantage. It works to every front-runner's advantage. And within the confines of a Republican conversation about Donald Trump, first to be criticized by the president or have a prediction you'll never be president just fires them up. So that works to Trump's advantage. The Pope interaction is a little different. It will play well here in South Carolina for sure. It may play well in other parts of the Old South. It may not play in the industrial Midwest or other parts of the country, but I guarantee you, whatever the immediate effect of this controversy with Pope Francis is, it will move on to something else, because Trump inevitably moves on to something else, and the conversation will change yet again once all the votes are counted here on Saturday. I don't predict that this will be a long-running feud between Donald Trump and Pope Francis, but in the moment, Trump did what his supporters like to hear, and you saw it in our piece. They like him not to be afraid. They like to have him respond with what they interpret to be guts and a sense of confidence in himself, even under what others might consider sort of wilting criticism from a figure of such renown as Pope Francis. So, for the Trump supporters, the way today played out was just fine for Trump.
Yeah, they like to see him fight back. Let's go and talk more broadly, if we can. How do conservatives seem to react to what the Pope has to say in terms of Trump as a Christian, but also other issues like abortion and the environment? Is there a general distrust in the political points the Pope chooses to speak to?
Well, distrust is a pretty strong word. There are skeptics within the conservative movement for sure about some parts of what Pope Francis said when he was in the United States, a very deep and heartfelt embrace of all immigrant cultures, legal and illegal. Conservatives are not there. They want people to come to this country legally, and they want to remove people who are here illegally by one means or another. On the environment within the evangelical Christian movement, there is a stewardship theology about protecting the environment, protecting what God gave them from their point of view. That doesn't run in all of the directions that President Obama and his environmental politics would take some conservatives, but they're not overall perpetually hostile to that idea. So what the Pope says about the environment, what he says about immigrants, what he says about social justice lands in different ways depending on the Republican constituency. There are a good number of strong Republican Catholics who believe in social justice and want to take care of the poor. I was talking to John Kasich earlier today, and he said one of the biggest things that he likes to talk about in his campaign and people are being drawn to him by is his suggestion that the one thing America needs most to do is slow down, embrace their neighbors, look out for their neighbors, and create a sense of community around themselves. That's very close to Catholic social justice. So this is a complicated question, and though politics tends, DeMarco, to try to carve people up and constituencies up into very fine layers, sometimes you just have to admit things spread broadly across a spectrum and people react to it differently depending on the issue and the circumstance.
All right, Major, final question for you tonight. Turn it a bit to the website, therealrubiorecord.com, funded by Ted Cruz for president. It accuses Rubio of supporting fast-track trade deals negotiated by President Obama, posting this photo right here of what appears to be Rubio and President Obama shaking hands. And since then, it's come out that the image was taken from a generic Getty image. Now, Cruz's campaign has come under attack for what his opponents term dirty tricks. This is the question. Can Rubio gain some support here by calling Cruz's tricks out, or do the ends justify the means?
Well, certainly the Cruz campaign believes all of its ends justify the means, and they like to play hardball. They are not bashful about it. They say this election matters, the consequences are enormous, and they're going to take advantage of every single thing they can and push the envelope to win elections. And that's the Cruz way, and everyone understands that. And what you have seen here in South Carolina is both Trump and Rubio try to create a conversation about that. Are you comfortable with that sort of hardball approach to politics here in South Carolina? Well, I can guarantee you the historic answer in South Carolina is, heck yes, we love it down here when people get rough and they fight for keeps here in South Carolina. So Cruz is betting in the end it's not really going to hurt him, but I can tell you this. Polling data suggests Rubio is catching up to Cruz, closing the distance between them. It used to be Trump, then Cruz, and a little bit of separation with Rubio. There is a sense that Rubio is catching up. There's also a sense that John Kasich is catching up. So it's going to be a very interesting competition beneath Trump, who everyone here expects to win come Saturday, for Cruz, Rubio, and Kasich. Because if those three finish very close to each other, right behind Trump or near Trump, they'll be able to carry on. And importantly, DeMarco, if Kasich beats Jeb Bush here, and Jeb Bush comes in 5th or catastrophically behind Ben Carson in 6th, well, he may not say his campaign is over, but effectively, it will be.
All right, you're the expert. Great reporting tonight. Major Garrett in Gaffney, South Carolina. Thank you.